Let me give you guys some examples first. Let's hear a sample of Who Did You Think I Was? John uses the neck pickup for this one, so let's check it out. I also added a tube screamer on here, which sounds pretty good with this song. It's called the GREENBOX on the Fender Mustang. So let me turn that on. It's on. There you go. All right. So yeah. Now for Good Love Is on the Way, the tube screamer doesn't sound quite as good, so I turned it off. And on this one, he uses the middle pickup for this song. So Good Love Is on the Way. Let's hear a sample. So let's see. I just reviewed the video, and the sound I hear coming from the video doesn't sound anything like what I hear in reality. So just trust me, guys. Try out these settings. Remember, this is just a foundation. You can modify these settings to further improve this tone, because the video doesn't sound anything like what I hear. So let's check out the settings finally. Alright, so my camera can focus here. So when you turn it on, right, it just starts at 0, 0, the standard liquid solo. Just go back to 95. You're at basic British 80s. And these are my amp settings. And all you do, and then tap amp again. Then I modified these. To modify any of these, just tap this button. You just turn it. I chose for the cab. I chose 4x12" speakers, M, and then those are my presence and master settings. Tap amp again, and you're good. So just exit out of there. Also, there's a reverb on, Spring Reverb on there. So hold reverb. 65 Spring. Those are my settings right there. Do the same thing, just tap this button, turn it, and then for every one of them. After you're done, press exit. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and then for the GREENBOX, the tube screamer, hold stomp. Then I edited those settings just like that, put them just like that. Remember, guys, you can modify these to further improve this tone. 3, 3.9, 6, 84% blend. Alright. And that's basically it. Now for my guitar, remember, for Who Did You Think I Was, you go to the neck position. I also roll off the volume because the amp can get too gainy. Oh, by the way, I have the master volume set on around 3, a little bit over 3. You can play around with it, try 3, and then try going up a little more, because once you go a little higher, the amp starts breaking up too much. And then remember, you can modify the settings so that you can be able to play at a higher volume. With the guitar, I roll off the volume a little bit. You know, you start from 10. I go to 9 sometimes, or 9.5. Sometimes I'll go to 8, depending on how high the master volume is on there, just to clean up the gain, because sometimes it can get too gainy. Now for this tone control, I have the 8 facing this screw. So that's how I remember, and the tone is facing that way. For this tone control, I have the tone, the word facing this screw. It's around 6, 7 or 8. I'm not even sure how it's measured, or where's the, you know, the dial. Okay, and then for Good Love Is on the Way, remember, middle pickup. And well, that's pretty much it. So now for Wampler pedals, this goes for anything, okay? What really helps with this sound is the compressor. This compressor is really good because it has that blend knob. Other compressors can really compress your sound a little too much. This blend knob blends the amp with the pedal so that you don't lose any dynamics. Brian Wampler can explain it a little better than I can, but those are my settings with this Ego compressor. If you have a similar compressor with a blend knob, just try to match them. I also have the Plexi drive, which I don't use for the John Mayer tone. Now this Euphoria models the double amp sound. So I have it set to smooth. Then I have it marked. This tone control right there. Around 10, 11 o'clock. The bass control around 8 o'clock. Gain control around 9 to 10 o'clock. Volume about noon, not quite. Now this is the Tube Screamer. This Tube Screamer rocks. Like, it really does. Have the volume control set right there. Have it marked right there in between those two gold dots, the volume control. Bass, I have it straight up noon. I roll off the mids a little bit. That's around 11 o'clock. Treble, a little above 9 o'clock. Gain, not too much gain, or about 9 o'clock, a little bit over. And that's it. For Good Love Is on the Way, I have the Tube Screamer on and the compressor on. For Who Did You Think I Was, I also turn on the Euphoria. So let me give you guys an example of that. So here it is with the Wampler pedals. In my opinion, with the pedals, yes, it's a digital amp, it's a digital modeling amp, but the pedals help a lot. Especially these. These are great. Good job, Brian. So here it is. Remember to turn off the Tube Screamer on the amp, the GREENBOX. Roll off the volume a little bit. Oops. Good Love Is on the Way. On Good Love on the Way, his tone, there's a good amount of treble in it. It's really bright. It's not very, very bright, but it's bright enough so that you could really hear it. So turn off the Euphoria. Remember, the volume control is a great control to modify the sound, to perfect it a little bit. Mess around with the volume control, it really helps. I think the Euphoria helps with this one. It makes it a little brighter. And that's it, guys. Just feel free to mess with the gain, especially the gain on the amp. I think it might sound a little bit too much with the gain. With John Mayer, there's not a lot of gain in his tone. He always talks about how it's the volume and turned up high, making the amp break up. Because he models his tone a lot from SRV, Stevie Ray Vaughan. So, and according to John, he doesn't have too much gain in his sound. It's just the amp. And you know, he has like really expensive amps. The 2 Rock and the Dumble one he has better gear than I do. So this is as close as I got. If you have a Fender Mustang, improve on the tone. Let me know what you guys think. And just trust me, it sounds a lot better than this video. So if you have a Mustang 3, it'll also work. For Mustang 2 and 1, just find the one that says 80s British. 80s British something. Just 80s British. Mess around with the tone controls. Mess around with the gain and the volume. Remember, John has his mids scooped a little bit. Actually, on the Mustang 2 and 1, I don't think there's a mid control. I think it's only bass and treble. So just be wary of that. And thanks.